What's up, people? Tutu Reviews here. Today, I'm going to tell you my favorite Marvel movies, my favorite MCU movies from each phase. So I'm going to give you my favorite movie from phase 1 through to phase 5. Obviously, phase 5 isn't finished, but that's not the point. I'm going to give you my favorite in each one. And the only rule is no Avengers movies are allowed. I feel like doing an Avengers movie kind of makes it a little bit unfair because, I feel like most of them are going to win, other than maybe Age of Ultron, which, is still a great movie. But that's the only one. I feel like the others just win by default. So let's start. Phase 1. I had to pick Iron Man. It kicks it off. It's got such great scenes in it. It introduced us to the MCU, where it was going to be. It introduced us to Robert Downey Jr. It had Tony Stark coming out of the cave, which if you saw one of my recent videos, I'll talk about that scene and just how phenomenal that scene is. Like the initial Mark 1 Iron Man suit is just so great. So Iron Man wins phase 1. Phase 2. Now, phase 2 was really tricky for me. I had two movies that I had a really tough time choosing between. And guys, I had to go with Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, it's just a really fun movie. I remember really, really enjoying it. I've watched it more times than any of the others since it was released. So I had to go with Guardians of the Galaxy. It was different. It was the first one that was set in a different setting, not on Earth. It introduced us to characters that a lot of people aren't necessarily familiar with, and it was just a really enjoyable watch. So I had to go with Guardians of the Galaxy in phase 2. I almost went Winter Soldier. And I'm like almost even still kicking myself for not going Winter Soldier. But I have to go with Guardians of the Galaxy. It was just so much fun. I just love that movie so much. Sorry to the Winter Soldier fans. I know that's such a great movie, but Guardians just pips it just ever so slightly. Phase 3, bit of a cheat, Civil War. I know that's basically an Avengers movie. However, I love Civil War. It's not an Avengers movie. So by my rules, it stands. Civil War, easy for me. It's probably the Marvel movie I've watched the most. Not of that phase, just in general. It's so good. Like, I love Civil War. It introduced us to Spider-Man. It introduced us to Black Panther. It was just really good. The fight scenes and everything. I mean, I just feel like it stands tall. There are little things that could have been better, but phase 3, Civil War for me, clears. Phase 4, again, I had two that are really, really tricky to choose between. And this is the one where I'm really, really, really going to get slaughtered. But I'm going with Shang-Chi. I'm going with Shang-Chi because, again, it introduced us to something new. And I appreciate being introduced to something new. It's a character we haven't seen in the MCU before. It's a character, again, a lot of people aren't familiar with. We got to see the 10 rings introduced. We got to see some visually really appealing things. It kicked off what was post-Endgame era, and it was just really good. And actually, it filled me with excitement for what was to come. Since then, it kind of hasn't, gone the way we wanted it to, but I thought it was a really good movie. Now, obviously, phase 4, you've got No Way Home. So, I mean, picking Shang-Chi is a little bit wild. However, No Way Home kind of stands on movies that have already been established. It stands on characters that have already been established. It stands on things that have been built beforehand, and it just shoves them together. And I feel like instead of that, Shang-Chi is just a brand new thing that was good, in opposed to here's lots of things that people already love all shoved into one movie. Now, No Way Home is absolutely phenomenal. And I could go on about why it's phenomenal, but it was tough not picking it. But I had to go with the original content. Now, phase 5, not finished. So far, my favorite phase 5 movie is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I've actually given Guardians of the Galaxy 2 wins here. So clearly you guys can tell I'm a fan of those characters. But Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has been amazing. Yes, I would put it above Deadpool and Wolverine. I feel like the storyline was much stronger. It was emotionally wrenching. It gave you a bit more backstory to Rocket, who is a character I love. And I just thought it was a really good movie. Anyway, that's Tutu Reviews here. That's my favorite movie from all 5 phases. I'd be happy to hear you guys' opinions. Please don't slaughter me for the ones that are a bit off the beaten track. I had to go with my heart and soul. I couldn't lie. I felt like, maybe I should just go with the masses and keep everyone happy, but I had to just be real. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Tutu Reviews. Peace, 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 peace.